Whoa, first off, I want to give a big shout out to Big Vol Nation at Vol Football on Twitter for that amazing little video that they put together. I will have to say they did it, not I. I just put our music behind it and stuck our logo on it.
Kids these days call it swagger jacking. You swagger jacked it.
So I want to thank you, whomever at the University of Tennessee, for making that. It is dark mode here this week from Tennessee. As always, I'm Brandon Bird. Welcome to Tennessee Fan Talk with myself and the Duke. Today we have special guest who will appear later on in the season as that 90s fan guy.
Oh, I can't wait.
Today, he has the name of 2 weeks to flatten the tide. And I cannot believe we'll just start off right there as a Tennessee fan. Bama going down.
I called it. If you don't remember, I called it.
Bama going down. Beginning of the year, we talked about Texas A&M being the one who could do it. And then, quarterback goes down. They bring in this little to no nobody and, struggled with some games. Lose to Mississippi State. Lose to Arkansas. Not necessarily in that order. And then, lo and behold, they come out, played a fantastic game. I would hate to be on the other side of that defense. And I think we had 5 sacks on Young. I mean, he felt the ground, and he felt it hard. And take away the win. So, congratulations, A&M.
And Henry Toto. Congratulations, Mr. Toto.
And what what is the fine for storming the field like that after a game? Isn't it like $60,000?
It's priceless.
$250. It's $250.
$250,000?
K.
Wow, worth every penny on that
one of my best memories is being able to storm Neyland's field. So, yeah, it's worth every penny, man. Good for those guys. That was a great environment. Watched it with my year-old last night, and we just had a blast watching a good game. Hate to see anybody losing something like that, except for Alabama.
I love it.
Remember, those of you that are watching, if you want to join the show, simply message I want in on whatever platform that you're watching in, and we can add you to the stream as long as you have a healthy internet connection and headphones. Because we know what happens when we don't have the headphones. We have to trash the entire show.
And we record at midnight on Monday.
Someone's looking away. Someone's trying to hide. You cannot hide from the camera.
Hey, he's just showing his headphones off. He's showing his headphones off.
Showing that he's got the headphones this time.
Right? Hey, you think that was trouble? Wait until 90s fan guy gets here in November. He's not going to know what to do.
Headphones.
Yeah.
Do I unplug them from my Walkman and put them in, or how does this work?
Bluetooth's what I call my old lady.
No, they wore headphones back in the 90s. They used to listen to the ball calls before the game. During the game, they had the great.
There was the amount of people that sat in the stadium and listened to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I remember the person that I used to, my family members that we had season tickets growing up, she always had the little I guess it was like a Sony Walkman with an FM radio. She'd keep one earbud in and the other one out of the game like that right there.
Before we jump in on the Vols, I do want to say, out of 54 games, you are still beating me by 1.
Me?
Yeah. You were, you are 43 for 54 and 11 close calls, close pick'ems, and I'm 42 for 54 with 13 close picks. So we're right there. We're right there, buddy.
I got to know how my guest picking went. How'd I do in the lost show?
Oh, in the lost show, you did Georgia, correct? LSU, you got right. You were the only person that got right on the LSU Mississippi State game. Wrong on Mizzou. Wrong on A&M. Correct on Auburn. Correct on Florida. Traitor. Correct on Kentucky. And correct on Alabama. So you were
All
two
right.
off on that one. Yeah.
All right, good deal. Fun times.
And that's why this paper stays right here in front of me, in case I need to refer back to previous notes. Guys, Tennessee comes in and what do we call this show? Pulls the Gamecocks' feathers. Right out.
They made a little jerk chicken. See what I did there? Jerk chicken, and they're the Gamecocks jerk chicken. You put, little wordplay there, guys.
Yet another game where the Vols put up 28 points in the first quarter. Still a tale of two halves, and I want to say that maybe he was just, he's got a lot of hurt guys, and he's just pulling it back and letting them work. They've got the high tempo offense down, right? So it's working on that 4-minute offense and slowing it down, being able to pay attention to that game clock for when they're going to have to do that. 45-20, your final score. Hendon Hooker, 17 for 23, an average, guys, of 9.8 per play, 225 yards in the air, 3 touchdowns. Hendon Hooker, Joe Milton, who?
He got splinters in his butt.
Yeah, I'll say I'm glad that a few of us were wrong about starting Milton at Florida because clearly Hooker is the better, more composed player. And just looking at his stats over the last, really since he got into the starting QB1, man, they're pretty solid. He was 16 of 23 this week for about 225, 15 of 19, I believe, last week for around 225, 3 touchdowns in each game. I think he's got 1 pick on the whole season, if I'm not mistaken. So pretty solid, consistent numbers. So
it is kind of hard to throw a pick when you throw it 30 yards past everybody. Just saying, but just making a joke. No, I like it. Like I was reading all these things up to the game, talking about like, oh, South Carolina has one of the best defensive lines. They're not gonna be able to run the ball. They're not gonna be able to score. Well, we showed them, another 28 points in the first quarter, man. Excuse me. Obviously go ahead.
Well, just that 28 points, man, it's nice to have the nation buzzing about that sort of output. That harkens back to the Oregons and Texas A&M when Johnny Manziel was around. That's big point production. You can't help but talk about that on a national level when you do that against 2 conference opponents back-to-back weeks.
Now, at the same time, though, you look at it, they put 28 points up in the first quarter, but then they kind of laid a stinker in the third quarter. So they need to, worry about coming out and stepping on their throats is what I would call it. But once you got that big of a buffer, it's kind of hard to stay engaged at the same time. But you do that against an Alabama or a Kentucky, maybe we get up and you take off the throttle a little bit, they'll be right back up your hind end before you know it.
Yeah, agree with that.
Guys, in the rushing game, Evans with another 119 yards, single touchdown, 45. He had that one last week for 92, was it? Mm-hmm. Another 45 right up the gut. Hooker did well himself, 20 attempts, 66 yards, and a touchdown. Whitehead is developing. Right, if you can get him into space, he can do some things. He's that right up the gut is where Evans owns it. Of course, Jabari Small was not in, just with a little aggravated past injury, and he has his moments too. But as far as the toughness and physical being, Evans is the man.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's nice to see that our offensive line is able to put up some production with Mays being out. The blocking has been pretty good against the last 2 opponents. So we're obviously going to have to establish a run with anything in this offense. Otherwise, it's going to stall out every time. So it's good to see that we're putting up some pretty even numbers on offense on both sides of the passing and running.
And like I said earlier, that was a really good defensive line, I would think, from South Carolina. I mean, they're still pretty young too, but their defensive line was touted as one of the best in the league, and we still got through it. So that's some positives to grow on. I mean, we're nowhere near as close as what we want to be, but that's some positives that they're building on.
So on building this next week, you know, we've seen what they can do against Missouri. We've seen what they can do against a building South Carolina team, a team that Butch Jones had trouble with, a team that Pruitt only beat once. Now we have to face the Lane Train and his cousin down here, 2 weeks to flatten the tide. Lane Train's cousin down here.
Joey Freshwater Jr.
Freshwater Jr. on the show today.
Yeah, so I was Lane Kiffin for Halloween 2009. So right after the South Carolina game and the black jerseys and all that, and we went out and had a good time. It was fun. And yeah, ever since then, I kind of owned it. So I'm excited. I'm going to the first game this year for our family. So we're pretty pumped about it. I think it's going to be a great atmosphere up there, probably like we haven't seen in a couple of years. So I'm really excited about it for our program. It's a big game, and I think you're going to have a big turnout and a nice, raucous atmosphere for a night game.
Oh,
and
my goodness.
Lane's return home.
An offensive game, and we're going to get to, we're going to get to our picks, but real quick, does it come up to what I think is going to be, 52-48?
Hey, don't steal my pick now. The over-under's at 85.5, I think. So, they say anything over, you can count on it. Yeah. I don't want to give my pick away, but yeah.
Can our guys defend Matt Corral? He is the most elusive quarterback. You can't pin him up. I mean, some of the stuff that he got away from even this past week was insane.
I think you spy him the whole game. Make him throw it. Obviously, we know he can throw it, but make him beat you.
He can throw it and he is not afraid of the deep ball. And we have not faced someone who is constantly throwing the deep ball. Our safeties and corners have not been tested for someone like Matt Corral.
Yeah, I mean, I know it has nothing to do with what's going on with this team this year, but man, historically, it just feels like quarterbacks like that have run all over us. They've got oil on their uniforms, and they just slip and slide right out of everything. So that definitely concerns me to see a guy of that caliber. I'm afraid he tap dance all over us if we give him the opportunity.
So this is kind of a little off topic, but when you said put oil on the jerseys, I vividly remember, I think it was 99 or I can't remember. It was either 99 or 2000. Way home after we got beat, of course. And somebody called him from Hollywood saying,
well, we're going to wait till his network connection gets a little better because right now it's not great. Neither is Freshwater's. Oh, here he goes. Freshwater Juniors came back. There we go. Boy, we need to introduce you guys into something I like to call the Nighthawk from Netgear. It is amazing. It's the best money you'll ever spend on a wireless router.
Yeah, I get sick of resetting mine every 10 minutes, so I'm all ears.
And I get to see. Terrible. I get to see over here on the side. Yeah, if y'all keep noticing me looking over, I'm checking everybody's network connections, especially as you start hearing some stuttering, and mine does not falter.
Placing who's in third?
Did you say who's in third?
When it comes to
I think we know the answer to that now.
Speaking of who's in third, let's hit these rankings real quick, and not the APs. I'm only interested in SEC, of course.
That's right.
Georgia not only first in the SEC, but first overall in the country with their amazing defense. And Stetson Bennett, he's going to keep performing the way he is, and they're going to say, JT who?
Yes.
The other surprise, of course, coming into the year, which we knew year over year, they have gotten better. I would not have expected Kentucky to start off 6-0.
Yeah, they've built a program.
They have built a program, and Tennessee falls in cleanly in third. This is something at the beginning of the year where I think it was Mr. Remington who was on the show said they're going to finish second or third, and Brad starts throwing
Who,
up.
us?
Yeah,
I mean,
you said it. So looking at Kentucky, they've beat ULM, they've beat Mizzou, they've beat Chattanooga, South Carolina, barely beat Florida, and put a hurting on LSU. So as far as strength of schedules through there, not that much different from Tennessee, right? Just happened to pull out against Florida and didn't get beat by a Pitt-ish team.
Yep, what might have been.
And Kentucky next week faces Georgia, so there goes their loss. They'll have their loss. They'll still remain in second, and then of course after that they play Mississippi State, which could be a little rough for them, and then Tennessee visits. All right. So, one quick thing while we're on rankings is Alabama only drops to 5. How does a unranked team beat you and you drop to number 5? Kudos, by the way, to Jimbo Fisher, the first Nick Saban groupie to beat him. It's fantastic.
Yeah, my son pointed that out. He's carrying out the college football 2014, so he has learned in like a month all about college football, and he's completely bought in. He's like the remember the Titans now. It's funny. So he noticed the same thing.
He knows everything about it.
yeah, it's crazy. He's a little commentator now. I mean, he used to learn more about the game from that PlayStation game than I could teach him in 2 years. So he noticed that. He said, "Daddy, they lost to unranked Texas A&M and only fell number 5." I said, "Yeah, that's Alabama, son. That's what happens."
Welcome to Alabama. Let's see here.
And this evening in the Wayback Machine, we were watching, kind of just to get fired up for this show, we watched bits and pieces of 1998 Arkansas.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was at that game. Of course, my son loves the CBS broadcast, like I always have. So he wanted to see the CBS broadcast of that game. And, speaking of polling after that game, I remember we were number 1, they were number 10, both 8-0. And after that loss, it's the only time I've ever seen this happen, but Arkansas did not move in the rankings. They stayed at number 10 after that loss. So stranger things have happened, but top 10 matchups a little different than what happened with Alabama this weekend, losing to an unranked Texas A&M.
Some of the things I don't understand is before this week, Tennessee was sitting at 26, and then they go and beat South Carolina the way that they did. How did they not move in?
I thought last I had seen we were at 59. So I don't have a good answer for that, because that might, I guess I've got inaccurate information. If that's true at 26, then yeah, I would assumed we would have gotten in just because of what we're doing to folks, and it's within the strongest conference in America.
Yeah, I'll have to go through maybe while doing some of the picks. I'll go through and see where they have them right now. Last week's
even if
go ahead.
I'm just saying, even if we were 26th, I mean, are we really a ranked team in the nation? I don't think so. I mean, we're throwing up these humongous numbers, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't consider us a 20.
Maybe just catching the committee's eye, right? Maybe that, and then if we beat Ole Miss this week, you definitely start putting us right there, even if it's 25.
If we beat Ole Miss, we're in the top 25. No,
I agree.
they're 13 right now going into this week. So yeah, for sure. I mean, you'd be probably looking at a 23 if I had to guess.
Trying to look at any of these numbers that we got spot on. I picked Georgia 38-14. That was pretty close.
Yep.
And yeah, and I picked Kentucky 38-24. Close on that one too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So we play Ole Miss next week. So let's look and see what we are up against. Okay. Matt Corral was 14 for 21. His average of 13.7, 287 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Looked very similar there. Little bit better numbers than Hooker, but very similar there. Jefferson, he did. His numbers look even better. He had quite a bit more attempts, but with 3 touchdowns and the 1 interception. Rushing, of course, Parrish Jr. There, and Connor. Connor is their man. Both over 100 yards, and Connor with 3 touchdowns. Matt Corral himself with 2. That's one of the things that Tennessee is going to have to look out for this coming week. Is Matt Corral loves that red zone rush in. He owns the area.
Yeah, our secondary is going to have a task in front of them for sure. I think I echo the Duke. Throwing a spy on him is going to be key. From what position?
I mean, I think that's the only option we got.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to hurt us any. It might put a little more pressure on the back end or on a linebacker that maybe opens up a hole for the running game. But a spy is about the only option we have, I think.
Oop, there we go. I was looking for a new sheet of paper. No notebook with me today. Let's go ahead and do it while we're looking at it. Let's hit the picks. We'll talk about what we have to do for the next couple weeks towards the end of the show here. Week 7 picks. Guys, first game is the noon Eastern on CBS. Hopefully they won't mess up who scores what, because I don't know if you were paying attention. Alabama scored, and they threw up the touchdown, Texas A&M, across the screen.
I didn't catch that.
Auburn, unranked Auburn, at number 17, Arkansas. Brad?
I hate Bo Nix. I think he's the second biggest fraud in the SEC behind
Ed Orgeron.
Ed Orgeron. Yeah, Ed Orgeron's the biggest fraud. It just depends on if you get the Bo Nix magic. That's what everybody's talking about. Oh, he's Brett Favre-esque. Oh, he's Brett. Nah. I'll give it 28-17 Arkansas.
I've got Arkansas. I'm going to go a little more like 44-31 Arkansas.
That's a lot of points for Arkansas, I feel like.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Jefferson's good, but
I agree with you. I am going to go I'm going to go 35-28 and also with Arkansas. They better watch out, though, if they cannot, which I think their defense can handle Bum. I think they can handle him.
Bo picks.
And there will be some picks. Doesn't Arkansas lead the league in it, or is it A&M? One of them lead. We'll have to take a look at that in a minute. ESPN noon Eastern game, number 20, Florida against unranked LSU. This, of course, is at LSU, and I'm going to go ahead and say Florida on that one, 42-28. Adam, who you got?
I got Florida as well. I like your 42, so I hate to piggyback off of that, but that's what my points are. 42-17 is what I've got it at.
It's okay to piggyback off me. I lead in closest picks.
Scorecard.
Start counting mine.
What you got, Duke?
So I learned. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean how much I, for him. He stinks. He's going to get fired at the end of the year. 35-7, Florida.
Wow.
35-7, Florida. They can't run the ball. All they can do is pass, and Florida can stop that.
Orgeron makes it out of the season.
Oh, yeah, he'll make it out of the season because he won a national championship 2 years ago to the game, a team that he walked into. Oh, one of us, we could have won a national championship coaching that football team. It's the truth. Butch Jones would have won it.
Ooh. The third, 12 noon on SEC Network. Number 21, Texas A&M, freshly re-ranked Texas A&M, goes to Missouri, unranked Missouri. A&M definitely handles business there. Oh, I'm going 52-17 A&M. They are going to be on fire just from their win. I mean, they're gonna. I feel so sorry. I feel so sorry for Missouri. I really do.
It's an early start. What are they really playing for in that game? I'm going 45-10.
See, I think they're going to be hung over from the win. Like a blind squirrel plays with his nuts every once in a while. You know what I mean? They played really well and won the game. I mean, I still think they win the game. I think it's closer. 28-ish, something like that.
Oh.
Give me that one more time.
35-21. Is my connection that bad?
It just fluctuates pretty severe. Did you say A&M 35? Nah, he's sitting in the red. He's in the red zone. He's in the red zone. All right, next one. We head towards the 3 o'clock games. This one is 3:30, the CBS game that is going to be so much fun to watch, mainly because Kentucky loses. Number 11, Kentucky, going into Athens against number 1, Georgia. I'm going to go ahead and write Georgia. And
so you froze there on my end.
Well, that's because it's your end. As we're sitting there looking at you right now.
You'll never know if I froze or not.
Yeah, just sit there like that the entire time.
Yeah.
Go a little ventriloquist.
Well,
I can't tell if he's doing it or. Oh, Adam, Georgia. I'm going to go ahead and write you down for Georgia because I know you're going to pick them over Kentucky, but let's hear.
Yeah, I'm going to go 31-14 Georgia.
And Duke? Nope.
21-14 Georgia.
Really? You think it's that low scoring of a game?
Stetson Bennett is still a bum.
No.
Kentucky's got a good fence. He's a bum.
Kentucky does have a good defense. I think Georgia's defense put some points on the board on this, and I say it's 42-28. Easy. 4 o'clock on SEC Network. I don't know how that happens. Because that's about right. 4 o'clock Eastern, SEC Network, Vanderbilt. This is the Battle of the Bums. Vanderbilt at South Carolina. You know, you said after losing to ETSU, you never pick Vandy. But I'm not so sure about Beamer's Gamecocks right now.
Yeah, this is the toilet bowl. I'm going to go with South Carolina. I've got it 27-7, South Carolina.
24-10 South. Oh yeah, 24-10 South Carolina. I can't believe this one says SEC Network on it. It should say like ESPN plus app 3 Latino.
Yeah.
Available to watch in Russia only. Duke?
5-3 South Carolina.
I knew you were going to go with just a field goal. I knew that was coming.
35-2. How about 35-2?
No, not their defense.
I'm just kidding.
Enough for
I'm
that.
just kidding.
The 7 o'clock on ESPN. I bet you ESPN would love to swap with themselves. Hey, trade off SEC Network, because the number 5 Alabama is going to Mississippi State, where Mississippi State will be very loud, and they think they're going to have a chance, and they're going to throw the ball 72 times, and it's going to get picked off several times
63.
because
He's sneaking in scores while he's got some bars.
I would have hate to been in that locker room after that loss.
It's bad. It's going to be real bad.
Yeah.
That's probably the best thing that's going to happen to that team.
Hey, did anybody catch the Saban interview at halftime?
Not at halftime. I did see the after the loss.
I was just it seemed very awkward. Like he I don't know if he's getting up there in age, but it was an extremely awkward exchange with the reporter. She asked him about his clock management of the last part of the half. I think they were kind of talking in two different directions as far as what she was asking him versus what he was answering, their possession versus Texas A&M's possession. And it just looked like,
and he said, what
let's
about
go Brandon up there for a minute. Yeah, he just looked a little lost, I'm used to a witty, snappy Saban, and he just was kind of, I don't know. Yeah, he's getting up there, so maybe it was nothing, but anyways, Bama's going to trash them. I mean, they're going to come out with a vengeance. I'm going 55-7.
Ooh. See, I thought that at first, and then I'm wondering if they have anybody hurt. I'm wondering, just what their feeling is as a team, how things went in the locker room. I still give them the win, and 35-14 is mine.
Am I good to talk? Can you hear me?
Good. You're good. Go for it.
Okay. 42-14. But did y'all see the video of after the game when they're trying to get Saban off the field, and that police officer trucked that A&M fan, that girl threw her phone up in the air. It was funny as all get out.
My wife pointed that out. My wife said, but they're getting him out of there quick. Said, well, yeah, there's about to be 100,000 people on that field.
Yeah, but you should have saw the video of the police officer just hit sticking an A&M fan. I mean, just trucking this little girl.
Add that on my to-do list.
It was funny as all get out.
And we saved the best for last, and I love that it's funny that it worked out this way. The 7:30 on SEC Network. Really would have wished that would have been the ESPN game, because it is going to be one for the books. Number 13, Lane Kiffin's Ole Miss Rebels visiting unranked for now, Tennessee Vols. Will remain unranked if they lose. But
the rest of the year.
But join the ranking if they win. The question is, we've seen Tennessee perform first quarters very well. They have to get off to a fast start. They have to maintain that tempo for 4 quarters, something that they have yet to do. The first question I have for both of you guys is, can they do it? And I'll send that out. Let me turn on the chat overlay. And for the listeners as well, especially Rad Remington, I'm looking for you on this one. Can the Vols go fast tempo for 4 quarters? B Rad says no.
I mean, they can go fast tempo, but is it fast enough to win the game? I say no.
They are faster than Lane Kiffin's tempo.
Speed, I mean, you've never seen the bumper sticker little old ladies have on the back of their car, never drive as fast as your guardian angel can fly.
So, and the difference that the Ole Miss defense versus everyone whom the Vols have faced thus far is that their defense is prepared for fast tempo offense because that's what they practice against.
Great point.
But Tennessee is faster. Tennessee will not let you sub at all until one of Tennessee's players gets hurt, which happens all too often.
Third snap of the football game.
So, I forgot to even write my pick down on here. And I already said 52-48 at the beginning, so it's locked. It's locked.
And you're picking Tennessee, right?
I'm picking Tennessee.
Of course you are.
I will be the homer. And hold on. Well, since you're going to go against it, come on, Adam.
Adam's going to pick Tennessee too?
I've wrote him down.
I'm a Debbie Downer.
I already wrote Tennessee. He doesn't have a choice.
Man, I'm caught up in the hopium. I'm not going to lie. I'm excited about going to the game. I'm not worried about the hype. Yeah, I'm hyped.
The hypocodone?
I don't care what channel it's on. I'm going to be enjoying it from row 10. And I think the crowd's going to be a huge factor in this game. And I think that will hopefully kind of propel the offense as much as it does the defense and kind of overcome some of these stinker of quarters that we've had. So this guy. That's for you, Dustin Powell. I'm going 55-52 go Vols. Let's see what happens.
You're saying it's a Texas A&M win at the last second.
I think that I think we might be up at the end, and they may be trying to catch up, but
trying to come back. They are fourth quarter kings.
I am. I've never been known to be a Negavol as much as I hate our Vols at times. So I'm optimistic. I think that it's going to be something that these kids get fired up about. It's like we've talked about numerous times that this team and writers around the country are starting to pick up on this too. They're gelling together. They like each other. They enjoy playing for each other. There's a lot of heart in that team, and therefore there's a lot of heart in the stands. I've been reading on some of the major forums, and people are going to show up. You know, if you build it, they will come, I suppose. So we're building a good team, and I think it's going to be a great night atmosphere. And I think that I think we pull it out, man.
So I did notice over the past couple home games that there is the section, the upper bowl, that has been pretty empty. Yeah. Do you think after this last win and coming out there's going to be a lot more Ole Miss fans there? You know, there's a lot of Ole Miss fans in Tennessee. There are.
I've seen The Blind Side. They live in Memphis.
The Germantown group is coming up.
Yeah.
They're coming up. Do they fill it? Is Neyland sold out this Saturday?
I mean, I don't think it'll sell out. I think you might get probably about 99,000 perhaps.
I see what you about 98%. I see what you did there.
98.
Again, it's a night game.
He's not here yet. He hasn't let it grow. 90s guys not here yet.
It's never too late for the greatness of 98 guys. So soon.
Duke, still need your pick.
Yeah.
You're gonna
I'm not saying I'm a Negavol. I consider myself a realist.
Okay.
I'm not a half glass full guy, half glass empty guy. No. I will have to say though, it is nice that the state is excited about football. It's been a long time since we've been excited. You know what I mean? Right. Obviously, we're all happy when it starts, but like we're excited to see what's going on.
I'm excited to see offense actually exist.
I
Exactly.
agree.
And we've got something to play for right now for the first time in years. This late in the season, when have we really been in the talk about anything? We control I hate the corny cliche that we control our own destiny, but we do, especially as other SEC teams continue to pick up losses in the conference. So it's fun to be able to have, something that we're really playing for halfway at the midpoint of the season, because we're usually done by now.
Do we go into the locker room at halftime leading?
Me? Because I didn't even give my score out yet.
Well, you need to hurry up.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I don't foresee us. I'm going to little foreshadow here. I think we win one more SEC game the rest of the year. And I think we keep it close in the first half. Yeah, that's exactly right. Vanderbilt. I think we keep.
I think they forfeit.
I think Ole Miss pulls away. You're going to laugh at me, and your faces. It's going to be 56-35 Ole Miss.
That's what my head tells me. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I agree with you completely.
Deep down, just down in there. I feel you, and I understand, but I'm just.
I mean, I hope we win. I'm just
hoping that if we are in it to the very end, if we lose it, the way that Kiffin just about lost it when he was down last week, praying, please, I want to have some popcorn.
Wouldn't you just love to block a field goal and beat them like Alabama beat us when we almost?
Oh yeah, with a couple of non-called penalties. What happened in that game? Something crazy happened in that game.
The same guy blocked the field goal twice.
Yeah, Mount Cody.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there were some shenanigans there in that game. I can't quite remember exactly what happened, but there was an extra play or something.
I was in the student center and yelled the F word at the top of my lungs, and I got scolded. I don't remember who it was, but I got scolded.
Speaking of F word, did you hear that Neyland joined the list of the F Joe Biden games, and you could hear it loud and clear on SEC Network?
Excellent. I didn't.
And I know someone in Section X that will be chanting that come Saturday when it starts.
We got the "Let's Go Brandon" chant going at the Wilson County Republican Trump Day dinner Thursday night. Marjorie Taylor Greene was speaking, and they stuck us in the back, and that was a big mistake in that giant expo center. So, "Let's Go Brandon" bellowing out throughout there. That's great. They need to start doing that when it's known to be live on TV. Not during the TV breaks, but when like what happened at the race when they were actually interviewing them. That's. I said that about 10 days prior to my wife. Like, they need to do this at a more opportune time where it can't be cut to commercial or anything like that. So I love it. I'm a viral guy. I love that sort of organic thing to,
Speaking of Nick,
come on, man, it's clown world. This is clown world.
Speaking of Nick Saban's mental awareness, I wonder if Joe Biden and Nick Saban play dominoes on the weekend together. Because there are some similarities there that they don't know. I mean, their loss is last year's Easter egg. Most of the time, if you look at their face, looks like they're like, oh.
I mean, I didn't want to, sound like an ageist or anything, whatever they call it. But yeah, he seemed a little geriatric. I was a Florida State fan growing up, and I've always followed the team. And kind of, you saw Bobby Bowden was essentially a figurehead by the time he was out of there. And you wonder at what point does that happen with the older Nick Saban? I mean, what is he, 70 years old now?
Yep. They bury him on the 50 when he dies, though. In Bryant-Denny.
I don't know if my sound comes through when I'm off the screen, but that was hilarious.
It didn't come through.
Okay. It you probably could have heard me from my house. Dominoes.
I mean, it was either that or like bocce ball. Maybe they're on the same bowling league. I mean, we can go with the jokes all day.
Yeah, it is a joke.
Yeah, and their bowling team league name is the Roll Tide.
That was pretty good.
Come on, man.
We are of course, over our 30 minutes, 35 minutes, where we kind of want to keep it, but trying to shade it in under an hour now, not spending so much time on around the SEC. Of course, guys, if y'all want to join us live, message us in or let us know ahead of time. We could get you set up before the show starts. Join us live every Sunday at 7:30. This Volcast will drop out. Actually, it'll go out tomorrow morning because there'll be very little editing to do except for where we have to take out B-Rad from Boo, where he starts to sound like
37.
Yeah, I pick 8, 40,
63.
10.
Hey, screw you guys. I'm going home.
So if any of you guys want to start a GoFundMe for B-Rad's router, we can definitely.
I'm just going to get me an Ethernet cord and plug it directly into the son of a gun.
There we go. That's what we like.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Screw you guys. I want to thank you so much for listening in to tonight's podcast. Join us next week, 7:30. Listen to the Volcast weekly. Let us know if you want in on the show. We thank you very much. Go Vols.
Go Vols.
Go.